helping you find your new way forward to the best years of your life. This is a New Way Forward podcast with your host, Paul Long.
What I am about to share with you is one of, if not the best things I did to transform my life into something that is ideal and perfect for me. This is one of the key factors that allowed me to find a new way forward in my life that is ideal for me in all respects. Not just a way to earn money, not just a career move, but in family and health and community and purpose and making a difference. All the things in life. Because what happens is that, we reach a point either out of desire or crisis where we want to make a life change or something more in life. I'm not living the life that's right for me. Something really bad happens. And this can happen at any adult age. I mean, certainly a lot of my stuff is kind of geared to people over 50 or approaching retirement age, and it's about the new longevity and the fact that you could live healthy and active into your 90s. If you're in your 30s right now, it'll be over 100. But this works for anyone. Because the challenge is, all right, I need to change. I know that there's something more for me, and there's something more I can give. But how do I figure out what that is? That's the trick. This is the great solution. I'm going to tell you what it is and get into it in a moment, but I got to give it some setup. But what it is that, well, first of all, I thought, what if I wrote a letter to my 30-year-old self? And that's a great idea, but it's like, okay, that's going to identify some things, but that doesn't really help me move forward. That kind of is backward looking. And then I thought, I'll write my obituary. And I even came up with a pretty good idea, and I did it, where I was like, I'd write my obituary based on my life now, which didn't make me feel real good. I mean, I got a lot to be proud of. I've had a lot of success, and especially with my family and my relationship with my college sweetheart and all of that. And, negativity can be motivating. And then I thought, how about that I write the obituary that I'd like to leave? And that didn't quite make it, but it did lead to this idea. And again, it's the best thing I've done, and the feedback that I've gotten from so many other people who've done it, they said has been amazing. It's writing a thank you note to your current self from your 95-year-old self. In other words, at 95, my life is so fantastic and has been from today until then that I need to send a thank you note thanking me for it. Boom. I knew I was onto something, and I did it. And I got to tell you, in the first place, the moment I wrote it, I was wanting to send a thank you note to my yesterday self, saying, this was great, because this has really helped me figure out what it is that I really need and want in my whole life, all aspects of it. And it really made me start thinking of the essentials of what I wanted and needed in my life that were so successful, so prevalent, that I'd want to send a thank you note from my future self, thanking me for all that I had done in the intervening years. Now, as I got into it, I also realized that this was helping me figure out what it was. It was helping me identify. Now, I couldn't get into specifics, and in fact, don't get into specifics. It wasn't like you took this job, or you did this thing, or you invented this thing. Unless that's 100% what you already know that you want to do, okay, great, put it in there. But I say it's forcing you to go fundamental, which is kind of hard for us. It was a little hard for me to say, what are the basic things that I want in my life? Not necessarily how I'm going to get it. What does this sound like? Simon Sinek's golden circle. Because when trying to figure something out, what we often do is we think of the what and the how only. But it all starts with the why. What is your why? What is your why for starting a business? What is your why for doing this or that or the other? Same thing with companies. They think about what we're going to make and how we're going to make it, how we're going to sell it, but not sure why. So companies like Nike and Apple are such strong brands because they don't talk about the speed of their computers or what kind of material they use in the soles of their shoes. Nike honors athletics, and Apple is seen as a prime tool for you to manifest the things that you want to do. It elevates it. It's why. So why do you want to do these things in life? What are the basic essences of it? So that was kind of the challenge in writing this letter, is that I couldn't be specific as to what it was, and of course I couldn't put in some future stock tips or who won Super Bowl 72 or something like that. It was actually a little harder, and that was good because it was really getting my mind to thinking about what are the fundamentals. I was creating the foundation of what I had to have in my life in order to be fulfilling and worthy of a thank you note from my 95-year-old self. And that became not only the foundation, but almost like the filter of ideas. Well, what about this idea? Oh, boom. It doesn't do this. Get rid of that. Oh, now this is better. And that's how I got to my decision. So I recommend very strongly that you write this with one of these. This is a pen or a pencil. Go retro on it. And there are a couple of reasons for this that are really impactful and powerful. It's also why journaling is such a smart thing to do and has much more impact than you think that it would. For one thing, by having to write it down by hand, it slows down your thinking. It gets rid of all the pinballs bouncing around your head, gets your focus more singular, and what you're writing is a little bit more thoughtful because you're slowing down. The other thing is that this triggers the reticular activating system in your prefrontal cortex, which is basically, prefrontal cortex is like your Intel processor chip, and the reticular activating system is your operating system, like a computer. And you retain it. It imbues and burns itself in your mind more effectively. And there have been a bunch of studies, and generally it's about 48% of those people who write down their goals, for instance, are 48% more likely to succeed at them. And when you look at them every day and even use your finger and trace along as you read them, it increases your ability to achieve what you want to do. Okay. The second thing is that be prepared to write different versions of this. I mean, I wrote like 3 in consecutive days. I'd write it, look at the next day. Oh, I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to rewrite this. And I've updated it over time since. But the big thing is that this was one of the best things that I ever did. I'm going to share you my letter, but I want you to note that several people who did this in the beginning said, boy, it would really be good to hear your letter so that I really get the context down. And I did that, but I said, this is my letter. These are the things that I put my time and attention on in terms of what I really wanted in my life in a very foundational and fundamental sense, not the specifics. Even though there's specifics in here, but not how I did it, because that is what I'm going to determine based on this. So do keep that in mind. This is my letter to give you the gist and the context and the vibe of it to write your letter. Okay? You ready? Dear Paul, me, us. Thank you. I mean, really, thank you. Here I am at age 95, still healthy and active, still living a purpose-driven and relevant life that I am passionate about. Thank you for the decisions, the efforts, and the determinations you made decades ago, meaning today, to not settle and to instead transform us and our lives into something amazing. Thank you for writing this letter to identify the way you wanted to feel about the life we would lead and what we would be grateful for. Something purposeful, perfect for us. I do realize I am closer to the end than the beginning. Duh. But I don't feel the end coming, and I'm in no rush for it. And I don't fear it even if it comes tomorrow, because I am so grateful for what we have done and the way that we have lived. I am more than anything grateful because we went for it. We didn't let fear, uncertainty, or laziness stop us from going for it. I recall that when I was your current age today, my biggest fear, was that in these final days, I would be overwhelmed with regret. Regret that I didn't live the life that was right for me, regret that I didn't make an impact, regret that I didn't have the courage to go for it, regret that while you already have a lot to be proud of, you know you still had a lot more to give and a lot more to get out of life. The fear of regret was huge for us. It was constructive fear, and it worked. We were right. There is more in life for us and from us. Getting more is one of the greatest gifts the new reality of aging and longevity has to offer. More of what we want, more of what we need, more of what we deserve, more of what we can give. We receive that gift because we put in the time and effort to make it so. It started when we were approaching the retirement age, and in doing our homework, we discovered that there's a whole new life map with decades of healthy and active life ahead of us. We started following that map and trailblazing in many ways, and we learned from and about the people who are out there ahead of us. How they were rethinking, reimagining, and reinventing what it was to be older, and how they were having some of, if not the best years of their life. We started learning from experts, successful people, and just plain folks who had transformed their lives and then succeeded. We heeded what they said, and it paid off. We took the time to examine and be honest with ourselves. We examined our beliefs, which are often the root cause of where we are in life at any moment. We got rid of the outdated and false self-limiting ones and replaced them with updated and true ones. We took 10,000 plus baby steps to improve our health. Every day, a little step in what we ate or didn't eat, or in the exercise that we got. We developed a great morning routine, which I still practice, focusing on ourselves and only ourselves when we got out of bed in the morning by journaling, meditating, hydration, yoga, and no electronics, avoiding the agendas of other people. Upon reflection, this was huge, a great way to launch our day. We launched our new endeavor, which helped us finance our longer health and lifespan. Notice I just said endeavor. I didn't know it was going to be this at that time. More than that, we found the work to be fulfilling and rewarding, which also improved our health. It gave us our purpose, and it's been our purpose, and we remain passionate about it, and I'm still doing it. It also aligned with the life situation, the lifestyle that we wanted and deserved. I now realize where you are in life at this time that I'm writing you to is the perfect time to do it. Because the older you get, the more you understand about yourself, life, and the world. Bingo. We made this new phase of life our turn, and it's been exactly that. It's been our turn. We never stop learning and exploring. In many ways, we feel the same as we did in our 30s, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Yes, it's true, you never lose the core of who you are, but with decades of experience under our belt, we've been able to do more with it. I am still driven to improve, learn, innovate, and make a difference. And the drive and connection with the real me has made all the difference for us in the intervening decades. It's made our life better, and I know firsthand the lives of others better. It's made life better for the ones we love, and we've been a shining example for them. It's a joyous thing. In reality, joy is in the journey. What we experience, what we do, and what we learn, and how we achieve every day. Also, our sons and their families, and now our great-great-grandchildren or great-grandchildren, have had this imbued upon them and given them an amazing view of how great life can be. I remember that silly quote that we came up with. Those who did. Those who didn't, didn't. Oh man, is that the truth? We did it, and we lived up to it. For all of that, I thank you. Love, me, you, us. So you see, that gave me, by forcing me to write something like that, and the fact that it was challenging kind of told me I'm onto something here, because sometimes it's very often the thing that you dread doing or you're trying to avoid is the very thing you need to do, especially in the context such as this. Because it gave me that foundation to then move forward with, and not just change a job, which is just a change, or change this, or move, or whatever. It forced me to really think about it. And here's also bonus in the video. This is also what gave me my filter, my litmus test on any ideas, thoughts, or notions that I had. In the first place, doing this kept my eye on the prize. This is what I want my life to look like and be like in the years and decades ahead. And so any ideas or any things that I thought about, it's like, well, does it do this? Nope. Okay. That's gone. Because when I transitioned out of television news into being that content creator for 35 years, I did it because I could, but not because I should. I did it because, I can do this, I can succeed at it, and I did. I'm grateful for it. I did some cool stuff, cool people, paid the bills, but it wasn't what was right for me holistically in my whole life, and I wasn't going to make that mistake again. And so what the bonus is that I thought, how do I want to feel every morning when I wake up? How do I want to feel about my life in total? And only those things that I can control. So it's not like this person still loves me or whatever. I'm talking about what I can control. And so here's the list. And I had to make it as basic, like this, as basic and foundational and fundamental as possible. So number one, I woke up. That's pretty foundational. That's also pretty important. Number two, I feel great. I am in great health. I'm not on any medications. I don't have anything debilitating me. I feel frigging fantastically. My health is great. Number three, I love my life. I love what I'm doing. I love the place that I'm in. I love I hate to use this word, but it gives you the idea, the balance of it. I'm doing cool things, fun things, making a contribution, doing my endeavor. The balance is really great because in my previous two professions, it wasn't. The next thing is I'm excited about the day. I'm excited about what I'm doing today, whatever the heck it is. What a great day. I'm not feeling the pressure or I ought to be doing this, that, or the other. I've got the flow going. And then last but not least, I don't have to worry about money. I'm not one, I don't need a Swiss chalet, I don't need a Lamborghini, I don't need, a place in Malibu. No, that's not me. I just don't want to have to worry about money. I've got enough money for us and maybe live our kids, and enough money to do what I wanted to do. So I'm like, that's my intention. I want to wake up every morning feeling like that. And anytime I thought of something, what did I do? I came up with a criteria by doing that, and it started with this. And one last thing, and you've probably picked up on this is the power of intention on steroids. Now, I've written about it, I've talked about it, I encourage it because you know what? It works. Is it spiritual alignment with the universe or God or whatever? Or is it because of your brain wired? Yes, maybe to both. And in a way, it doesn't matter. It works. Because anything you've achieved in your life, anything that you've really gone after, you use the power of intention. It's just, as an amateur, become a pro at it. And neurologically, the way it happens is that when you're focused on something like this vision that you've written for yourself, and you're envisioning it, and the most important thing is that emotionally you're feeling it. I mean, what's it going to feel like? How cool is that going to be? How exciting? You actually feel the emotion. You create new neural pathways in your brain, and they're so strong. And because you do it regularly, like exercising your arms, that they become so prevalent that this is when you've maybe heard that sometimes your brain cannot tell the difference between what's happened and what hasn't. It thinks this has happened. And so therefore, like a computer, it becomes at the top of the hard drive, so to speak. That's what your brain paths do. They become like memory on a hard drive. And then you've got your reticular activating system, which is like the Intel processor, processing from the billions of neuro pathways that you have in your brain, what to sort through. And then the operating system is your reticular activating system. That's therefore looking and noticing and picking things up. It's what puts things front of mind. It's what allows you to connect the dots. It allows you to pick up on things. Somebody says something that has nothing to do with what your intention is, and yet you make some sort of connection from it. And it vastly increases your likelihood of success. So, like I say, now you understand why this is one of my favorite ideas, because of all of those reasons, and the number one reason that for me and already untold numbers of people, it really works in helping you find that new way forward in life that holistically, in totality, makes your life as joyous and fulfilling and purposeful and relevant and successful as you want it to be, as you deserve it to be.